What's up, guys? Today I wanted to bring you a new video. I've been trying to record this for a while, but my internet has been giving me problems, and I really just need a new video camera. But unfortunately, it's hard to make really long videos like this one that I want to make. But what I've decided to do is actually split this up into two different parts because it's such a long talk about what I'm going to talk about. So what I wanted to talk about in these two videos, this is part one. So part one and two, we'll talk about my top 10 favorite video games. Now, to start this off, I want to start off with a game that I've been recently getting into, thanks to acquiring a Super Nintendo yet again. Super Nintendo was a beloved system that I used to have, and now that I have it back, it's nice to be able to relive all the old games and look at some new ones. Like this one, Mortal Kombat, at number 10. The reason why I love this game so much is right from the get-go, when I got it, I got very addicted to it. I played for 4 hours straight when I got home. It was a very challenging yet addicting game. The move list was simple, but yet they had all the original characters, and I like the look and feel of the game and the way you'd have to use moves to get out of things, but there'd be really good challenging game modes. Well, there was only one game mode, but the tournament got really challenging because at one point you had to battle two characters in one fight, meaning you defeat one character, then you defeat the other after, and that's in 2 rounds. So it made it a really interesting challenge, but you know, it wasn't like one that you would rage quit from. It was something that was really addicting. But yeah, that's why for that one. But the next game I want to look at for my top 10 favorite retro games is Donkey Kong 64. This game is really nice for bringing the aspect of open world games. I know it's a lot newer compared to Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's still from the 90s, but it was somewhat newer. But still, it brought a great aspect as the idea of open world games were just starting out. With the creativity of level design and the story that was brought along with the story of DK rescuing all his friends and beating K. Rool. And there was just a lot of fun aspects of the game with all the items and different various things you collected to progress. And I really enjoyed the game thoroughly. I could play it a lot. I mean, I still own the game today. Maybe someday I'll play it again. You know, it's just one of those games I always look back on. But yeah, the next game I'll look at number 8 is Street Fighter 2. Now this game is a classic. This one I go back to a lot, and I've been going back to now that I have my Super Nintendo a lot. Since Super Nintendo now, I recently bought it again, and I'm still loving it just as much as I did when I was a kid. And now I have an even better understanding of how good of a game it is, because it's just an awesome game. Well, compared to Mortal Kombat, it's not as simplistic with its move list, whereas this one, it's more of a complicated move list, and the game is addicting as well, but it's so cool to be able to like learn all the moves, and then as you get better, you can eventually like defeat the characters, and you get like really good, and it's crazy to think that you could do that just using a little controller where you move the cursor just a little bit just to get better. Like, just to do the right moves. And that's crazy. And for a game that old to be able to do that is just powerful. That's very powerful of them. I admire that a lot. And they really brought a lot with that game for a game that's 16-bit. So that's why I admire that game so much. The next game I want to look at is Super Mario World. This game was also awesome because it's really awesome game. I can't say enough about it. Like, I really don't want to disregard these lowest ranked games because they're on the bottom of my list, but you know, I hate to put this one at number 7, but I have to. But I just recently beat this game actually, and looking back on it as an adult, it is still a very awesome game. It may seem simple at first, like the levels, but towards the end they actually make it really hard, and I admire that about a game that old that was the first launch title for the Super Nintendo to do that. And that's like amazing, and they made it really like all the levels were really creative and diverse. There was so much to them. All the levels brought something to the table when they were played, and there was challenges in them, and there was fun to be had at the same time. And let me tell you about this one level that I also want to talk about. At the very end, there's a level called Backdoor, which is basically like a shortcut to fight Bowser. And let me tell you, that is one of the most hardest levels you will ever face off against. And the fact that a game that old could do that, and to call it like one of the hardest levels in video games is astounding. Like I never thought the game could get that difficult, but it really did. Like, the game really knows how to throw a lot of surprises in there, and I really admire that. The next game and final game of this part that I want to look at is F-Zero X. Now, this was the sequel to the first F-Zero. Now, I want to do a nod to the first F-Zero. Though it wasn't that good of a game, you could see how it started out the series. F-Zero, the first F-Zero was only like 4 racers. You didn't have boost power. The racetracks are very simple. It was 16-bit. This was just where it started out. But I admire that. Like, that's where it came from. So I respect that. But when F-Zero X came out, this was a whole new level of gaming for the F-Zero series with the 64-bit console, and they had these awesome level designs, and the levels were insane, and you could see how fast you're going. You were going faster than any other game you ever could, and I mean, they had boost power introduced, and you were racing against 30 other racers, and it was just incredible for a game like that to do that. Hold on a sec. I need to think. There's something else I wanted to mention. Just the challenge of it. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's really fun. It made it really interesting. Like the levels got really dangerous and really complex and cool. But yeah. So that's going to do it for this part, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more of this, and I will be releasing part 2 of this top 10 favorite retro games list.